Coach, your general assessment of the whole game.
Kotoko should have won this game. Seriously, we should have won this game. Once again, we squandered the chances. And you took your chances. So, to me, we shouldn't have lost this game. But it's part of the game, so it is okay.
Let's see the way forward for Kotoko now, Coach.
The way for every club, we all want to win the league. It's not only Kotoko. If the way you play here, the way you are playing every club, there wouldn't be last. So Kotoko, everybody wants to beat Kotoko. That is the magnetic of the issue. But we didn't play badly. We played good football, and we created chances. But putting the ball into the net was another, once again, the problem. But so far, so good. We are playing the league.
Coach, your next assurance for the supporters were expecting nice or...
This is football. This is football.
What do you have for?
This is football. We are playing the league. You will beat the...
27th of November.
Yes.
Mr. Damikaze Bronyangwa.
There be a bank.
Nti nyame adoma bosome se na ne adi bronya wi.
Ne wi.
Bronyo na nkrofo na Christmas ni.
Ne twa New Year no.
Ne ba Christmas ne wi.
And then ne
wi. Very short, it is a weekend.
Ne wi.
Christmas is a weekend though. Only say man for our this subtract.
Pressure women a dozen.
Now plans in the same.
Say the Christmas and yana time be no family no na yishia na. Be kakra.
Okay, no man dream.
Yeah, opportunity be basi be PS wa kwetena be. Say I'm actually the program about partners and pairs ba and ya de nyina him.
Na partners and pairs e fan we.
Say
say partners and pairs.
Until one more pairs or pair. Maybe or connecting singles no.
Okay. Now you baba say ni ana. Baba wa ha ka we nyina ase mo.
To say nyan ware dia me she e
ho so you committed ana.
Me commitment no dey
ana. All right, into time for today's sports. We are here till 12 now. And then Sembin is in our Champions League matches course. So Arsenal Bayern Munich 3-1. Liverpool against Solosi is a shock defeat. In fact, a bit later we will find out from Bournemouth some of the mistakes our Liverpool defenders on the year. Yeah. Sabi Kenya Europe na ha.
Oh yes.
Kebu abaka so much that.
Yes. Typical example here, Van Dijk first goal.
He just raised it
because he felt that there was a pushing into any mama menche ball on the foul mama. But also as experienced as you are, when himself football as a referee whistle ya. Won't mean yes, you PM into the match. And
was the push that so
very minimal everywhere there. Let me so
then you check one of the goals
Konate. So bad.
Now a pig down na ball na I don't know whether
and I know show me Nottingham Forest. I mean said the more range defense this almost BM too much. Wow. Against Nottingham Forest goals now mo dey show money be. Spaces kakaka no mo jija
Tottenham so concede 5.
Yeah.
Against PSG.
Yes.
And okay, then there are stories behind them. Madrid also winning by 4 goals to 3.
Yes.
And Vincent Kompany so per revenge. I mean, just revenge is saying.
Or say or percenka senko opportunity o wanka animu your percenko sani Arsenal Asia.
I don't know like
unze sometimes I say wa konto kwa ni abo na o hese and to kwa we dey
Chiana say o Arsenal so what?
Well.
And Vincent Kompany only player onya isa. Competition was certain format.
Yes.
And I'm more boko.
Yeah.
And you know, Uchi will be a point in the yard.
Hurricanes so can be born the Oka say or who say later stages of the competition.
Now, what makes them think
sometimes on Yana Ojo abilities due to the extent that I feel say Sani Passomes with the name Nico and Senka, which you famous.
But say a bit exchanges because born and non boy and
yeah.
Bayern and you say they created chances no man said.
Yeah.
And now I think it was quite cool.
Yes.
But the difference was that now Arsenal to me defending ye chain. But apart from that,
defense ne shaky kakra and also na Imano nu some 1 or 2 mistakes be
anyway.
Yeah.
So Jamaica Gabofu say most Salah's legs have gone. Are they? Say San or more can answer them.
Or say Salah a player be as they say who so Kasebim or Bekasa no a man of the match. Nanka game will call ending as a senior player to no Salah no. Also no for interview. No Busane de a wrong with the club. No, I can be a chair fans no. So I Liverpool matches almost losing on test Salah Casa. So the other players or say Ubo say Salah or say baby our Drew no. Also sometimes or responsibilities be seen his shoulder. No, only fans in the Salah the side. Only fans in the Dinko.
Casa Gronya dear sir.
But so too Jimmy Caragamo almost set double standards via. Unse Liverpool lose and see players in Nenyade in your coaching. But in other teams lose they be or coaches in so Maresca or so Amorim or school. But the Liverpool they players in your coach.
Nadam for the slot.
Well.
As I say, yeah. As legends of the club, they are always with the coaches.
Okay.
And the coach not train aside the moment.
Okay.
I said because they are close, he seemed to have more information about what is going on.
Okay.
And now what the said that no be an criticizing no.
And no crepa.
The Morino can for instance. So omunyo wa down for.
Yes.
Okay, time
only gonna associate.
Always gonna say.
Yeah. Omun can asem. United for can asem.
If you are not one of them, but Slots, why he pulled out Konate no na me feel say it the go no buy no you know
so the last game so you Konate sama na Konate ba osre krama cameras ni capture no
ya no waja ni chrome for no wom
but baby so feel say Van Dijk so na ma Konate hwemo.
Okay, so and Slot future Liverpool future in doubt. Is it second odds no 50-50?
Yeah, 50%.
Okay, so Real Madrid insists on unity among growing outside noise. Best midfielder in the world, Vitinha will be the next Ballon d'Or winner, according to Thomas Frank. And then PSG poised to hijack Ransford from Barcelona with big money offer. Now, another committee has also been set up.
Yeah.
And
11 member
committee. Mentiase, I don't know what's after the ministerial committee.
Well, Mr. Mentiase, sir, but we need a straight from the presidency.
Kofi Adams committee,
Kofi Adams committee, no, but we need a presidency.
Kofi Adams committee, na a committee on bed.
Almost a World Cup near me, na also Mona was in Comobano Muchechi Muye. Because Kofi Adams committee, if you are way so, mandate, similar to the Kofi Adams stay. And Kofi Adams is a part of this committee.
Yeah, but pray and what's when you have recovered cup. But the committees are in go for don't be recovered cup.
Oh yes, yes.
And yes, committee be as anything. Kofi Adams the minister on the committee.
Yeah.
And the chief of staff so attend the committee.
Yeah. Chief of staff and there's a free president or never.
I sent the chief of staff no.
Well,
so we a Jubilee House committee.
Yes, but may sure say Kofi Adams will have to do with from the Ministry of Sports because they will be so much involved in Black Stars Jumedi no do na. And they be about
Black Stars.
And say
now Black Stars Jumedi the same minister and you no committee.
That until they make an
Black Stars Jumedi
World Cup matches near Dinina say FA no reported direct to the ministry. And
I'm just
and I make a Kofi Adams say be in the ministry no to oversee FA ni Jumedi ye ko World Cup no. And a government that committee and also be oversee. Sana magye me kai sana too. Sana magye
me man your wadure because
yeah.
I don't want to announce Kofi Adams committee no. Omo kan dey be
right.
And team wadure nya hwe. Yeah, na obebe bi mu anu akọhwe asemo mu kan
o mandate no
na ye no ko
okay
but I think say committee yeah na
ba himpa committee we ni modu chen Kofi Adams ye no
ana say omo hu say de ono te ye no omo otu agu
Someone can somewhere dissolve the committee.
Anyway, so make time and follow up with the appropriate officials of the American embassy to make sure Ghanaians are allowed to go and check it. Now Ghana, yeah, draw who say Quebec America. And I'm
You
book Chromians.
You but I'm so told him, pa, me show some matches and do now America. So say Canada ni Mexico the almost stadium omode buy and me show some group stage matches no movie be ma America.
Group stage matches now they movie is no man.
Oh me
when you are in a group.
Yes.
I've not seen that. It's last week. Some say December, some say 2nd December.
Yeah, 2nd, yeah.
And you know, mom in America na do so. Yeah, baby,
now also a minister because you for support the Uncle America. And the chief of staff we must koni
sa no me ya abunze actually na akoya asem for na playing in am wiem next can
there we have the emphasis can be a play play a crowd be say there no be you know free team.
Okay, so he urged the committee to work with the relevant institutions and use the early discussions with the U.S. embassy to make I don't know Ghana for him say one America near
like
okay, because unbeaten start to the Premier League season came to an abrupt yes I got on right
2-1
not drawn a does
2-1 and
Basake mum na ze kotoko
yes na I didn't know her na eboboba na nkakrakra na eboboba yes it's just a matter of time.
Zito say they have a strong desire to beat Kotoko teams no man can
I will say said the Basake ni on boy and say sa no meeting bi ebo a anka ba bi omo da o league ni so no nko mu ni ho but Kotoko nti obi e be hia Kotoko a ya na edge no wo so kakra because Kotoko e no te ase ti ahode no mo ne omo de ball
nti why is he telling us
well me nim say
because Zito
media no
Zito there ono no me nya sure say omo nim Kotoko asem chen no dosu
yeah
because it's a club you played for.
Yes.
Baby o one sana no back Kotoko no be kai as a Gyoko a team crown no so that desire to be Kotoko way back.
Yes.
In the 80s.
Aye. Said the bear also be nya Kotoko ni bia.
And why is he telling us? As a truism, it's something you know.
Yeah.
Say only Kotoko be boy and it's not only Kotoko.
Yes.
Everywhere you a big club. Motivation coaches some of them catch up pleasure you know na be crown on be foul.
Yeah, I know.
So why is he telling us this? And I say, oh, church is okay, and the High Court has adjourned the case involving Rennie Hedink and then Hearts of Folk. The code date Ben.
The code December.
Okay, so us will hold the remainder of the Ghana Premier League at the University of Ghana Stadium.
Yeah.
We need the kick then they can ask them. We have the committee inaugurated by the chief of staff, and I'm still wondering why they call it the ministerial committee. If the chief of staff, the committee banning and the ministerial committee is at the ministry's level. As a Solomon Ason and Makocho Sabo of and Kotoko losing for the first time, Zito's interview, Hearts nearing the heading, and of course
Kotoko the stone at Chitafo ni before F no new more in Dini almost scaling of matches.
Adding
a twatos midweek weekend.
Solo, yeah, to a
oh, so too.
Wouldn't one and go for bomb matches 3 times a week?
So was a honum dear no.
I had a
honum dear no. What's not flight to my 25 minutes?
I make I'm Crumonum.
What do?
I'm going for Basu.
And I make
they travel on bus.
A honum
M1.
M1 no Mr. 2. Say how more the 4 hours, a way be a 1 hour, no do. So I had travels. So to inquire Kotoko fast from
Quada,
acquire Kotoko fast from Asankre Guaco.
But they have a good bus.
Acquiring, you see.
Say, energy every day. So I'm going to come right, 10 a.m. Your phone cross on
yɛde nsɛm kakra aboaboa ano no ɛde abrɛmu ɛnɛ ana ɔpɛ yɛwia na badwafoɔ nyinaa bɛka yɛ ho na yɛde nsɛm no nkyɛkyɛmu ɛde atoa so ɛde ama mo hyɛ ne nso ɛsɛ ne nsɛm no pii na every UEFA Champions League ni mo ɛna ɛba UEFA Europa League match sɛbɛkɔ so ne nyinaa yɛbɛdi ɛho nkɔmmɔ ɛwɔ dwumadie no so ɛden ɛna coach sɛ ne players ɛka after games ɛtɔ dwa ɛno ada ɛwɔ UEFA Champions League no emu ni nyinaa ɛho nsɛm ɛwɔ hanom a yɛde ɛma mo ɛwɔ ɛyɛ show ne so hyɛ ne so sɛ yɛ live ɛwɔ Oyerepa Radio on Facebook messages sɛ ɛfa hɔ na yɛakenkan ɛde ama ɛnɛ anɔpɛ ɛwɔ dwumadie no so na high sense Black Friday promo no ɛna ɛde ɛkɔ nkurɔfoɔ nkuro so na wonim sɛ nnɛ yɛ ɛna Black Friday promo no ɛhyɛ aseɛ ɛyɛ 27th of November ɛkɔpem 29th of December ɛyɛ 3-day period na wokɔ high sense a product bi a wobɛfa wɔ hɔ biara no ɛnɛ ɛkɔpem memene da yɛatete boa no so sɛ hu yɛma 5-year manufacturers warranty na deɛ teɛ ne sɛ yɛ 3-day bonanza mebakyɛw ɛnneɛma a wotɔ no ɛyɛ quality durable and ɛyɛ affordable na ɛsɛ guaranteed high sense yɛ everyday prices for everyday people right showroom bia na ɛfa yɛ product ni bi free na akɔpem memenda na yɛnte price ne so ɛmfa ɛma ɛwɔ Black Friday promo a ɛno so ɛhyɛ aseɛ ne dua yɛ ho ɛnsɛm no ɛba ɛwɔ dwumadie no ɛso yɛhyɛ aseɛ ɛde free UEFA Champions League no mu na afei yɛdi nkɔmmɔ kakra ɛnso ɛwɔ hɔ ɛno matches no ɛtɔ dwa no pa yɛde results no ɛbɛ 2 anymore brought Liverpool LUC by 4-1 Madrid and some Olympiacos actually 4-3 while brought Arsenal actually by Munchen actually 3-1 no I said the results for a big class and also etumia koya UEFA Champions League emuna obibabusa say league table ne krano sign it here after 5 match weeks. Teams in the Fana Omodam, your place here was screen so at the amount Arsenal decline 100% record, 5 matches, 5 wins. Arsenal, it was 15 points. Omodicine, it was early table no so PSG Tosumieno, 12 points by Munchen, and Tosu me and some more 12 points. Inter Milan Tosu 9, 12 points. Madrid, and Tosu Enum, 12 points. Dortmund, and Tosu Sia, 10. Chelsea tosun so 10 and our first Sporting CP etosun watche womo so 10 points omo etoso and watche o league table ne so enti ene ya no teams can come qualify automatically round of 16 and Arsenal, PSG, Bayern Munchen, Inter Milan, Madrid, Borussia Dortmund, Chelsea and our first Sporting CP and some league table ne so City etoso and Atalanta by Newcastle, Atletico Madrid, Liverpool, Galatasaray, PSV, Eindhoven, Tottenham, Leverkusen, Barcelona, and a Karabakh, and so Edisosana, Unimsam, the first 8, and I qualify at the acom automatically. Now, number 9 to number 24. Yapel Monomabo playoff name 8. Akoka first 8 in a round of 16 draw and some Latumia Tojano by way of the UEFA Champions League table. Ya game I Samna Demao Jumadian Swana Anopay and slot says coach a Jakuni Champani Ranisa Yakacho as 12 games are coach about the last 12 games we're losing a moon 9 and one winning 3 and some Honma and Anslot in the record currently for Liverpool team now Anslot and after game in Central for Busano SAS was throw so be losing a Juma Anslot so anya worried about Liverpool future amid growing crisis no GDA said the seen anymore and it's so be turning things around for Liverpool Bobo Kwenya Sakibia and I'm ordering him prempay ewo Bobo Kwenya no and Samuel Anslot Eddie Tuja after on him a PSV Novel one more game and also Baswa will lose by 3-1 while brought Arsenal by Munchen and Kamiansa Amam Womo Timu Bakono Declan Rice or no midfielder Edema Arsenal team Wakem match Arsenal players and yet Chitafo they shouldn't be carried away. And Momu Timu Nomo SSA Yaka and Asa de Uba Europe Yomu and Nimbo ball and Abba England Omum and a Nimbo ball or there are 2 SM there are so many teams drew baby on that trash on that punish us and in say so we see a kind of be so modern ball so I am at time piano what tries to be frustrating to know one maintaining a year one composure now I'm fan come and no crew of fear and declare so dear and then I don't pay what to make any so Jamie Carragher. What to be the about Liverpool players no were job brutal. Na Jamie Carragher's level no any Liverpool level was a players no step up no GDA as a players be brave. One na bomb and say niama emwa didn't amamo e say modern bono and shadan signing oh Liverpool. One more team ni was a players no e peja omo modern bomo no e Jamie Carragher in Samoa. What didn't to ja Oyerepa Curtis Jones Liverpool midfielder. Was see omo team no. They said they are a boy can or you sue elsewhere, you know, and the Liverpool players. Any team now, Curtis Jones. Was he said more now or they are said to Liverpool players name SM and Muyana was one more try no more 10 things around and some Liverpool Chita Fono and a Bobo Kono will go Inter Milan and Atletico Madrid gamer across one a late winner and Inter Milan almost a fire and no and Christian Kivu and it to just say defeater Omunya Ashi omo papa was time I shall go the Roman so one with the 1 point call back to Italy when we are said Panya Bono and sweat me out tomorrow GDA said a painful defeat at the Emma Inter Milan woman the Bobo Kono not Diego Simeone Pablo and sweaty Tuja as a plan omo work here at the Inter Milan and a far at the moment was a plan on the bar game when we start the game now no so Adriana Pique Adriana fa at the Amom account be and to me Inter Milan and so on man Diego Simeone nen Samuel Eba we come Madrid team ni mua bon yen fa sa video nen to so home dia after game no biase o Xabi Alonso and Vinicius Junior woman can talk about now after game and Xabi Alonso on your screens Vini Junior and Daniel no call again and post match press conference and Xabi Alonso say we are united as a club and some echoes were bontere so team no move feel coach ni ajade no e dia ni nyina no krabia any san 7 men no and some run again and Xabi Alonso and it to after omu game no we run our tournament spare any PSG game after game omu lose by 3-5 and Thomas Frank and it to just say Vitinha or the best player, the best midfielder. We are saying on the enchekra. Or Reshemu or GDM mappa. As a PSG player and the ding Eddie Vitinha. When we bet to me a Ballon Tony be Eddie a sin in answer no and some more running ding and some Eddie Steven Gerrard. And when we Thomas Frank, one of some a 2 jump after a game now. Ya dear Mamo Ewa Jumadian so Steve G. And was say Liverpool say party baby omujina no enye for club on the cry. Na no one say team bet me 12 games. Normal winning 3 alusu 9 or say one more time cry no na niam we be and see e wo Bobo Kono no Steven Gerrard on so Samoa bam and anopay wonim say Vinicius Junior currently one Karim Benzema abetai for most UEFA Champions League assists for Real Madrid one Bobo Kono 27 assists and I want no etumi anya wa brand no what say nya assist e wo game one Olympiacos e boy only Cristiano Ronaldo and I want 31 assists Vini Junior and Karim Benzema one 27 assist a piece and no one some one so aba Jumadian so PSG one Bobo Kono say so the most Champions League wins ever achieved by a club in a single calendar year until from January 2025 ABC November ya can say PSG and 13 wins in the UEFA Champions League. Your best record no Bayern Munich 12 and a Madrid and some 12 and no history PSG and Luis Enrique Omo and so to me our Champions League anymore. Ya dey no some come no at the amount Jumadian so and you may yanko and yanko some coaches any players and the 2 after games it told ya our Champions League anymore and na and slot Liverpool manager Yebusani say emotions no say or say a very negative at the man Liverpool team no
the last weeks, every time the same question. The emotions are very negative and disappointing. After I'm looking at the screen now, I see the way we concede the 1-0. But I want to be positive about the reaction of the players after we went 1-0 down, because I think till half-time we played a very good game. After another disappointment, we came back into the game. I think we had enough chances maybe to go 2-1 up, and at half-time I don't think anyone would have expected us to lose this game 4-1.
I know we spoke yesterday and you said, you were trying to find solutions. Where do you go from here now, ahead of another huge game at the weekend?
The only way to go is to go through now, and what I mean with that is, we just have to face where we are in and fight really hard, and would be nice if we don't every time get this knock of a goal we concede, because it's not only conceding a goal, it's also
NOA and slot in somewhere what they to just Steven Gerrard, former player, captain, legend, and my Liverpool or say and you're good enough. Liverpool modern boss say wamum ebono enya dia e fata club no ni history, especially UEFA Champions League ni mebetie Steven Gerrard ni nsemo ono so eden atudwa Liverpool wamum modern ball of late Champions League ni manu ni wa yebeko na yakotie Jamie Carragher say unacceptable na ne buafu players ne papa ni nyane say omo na disappointed and slot.
Liverpool's not a sacking club. I say Liverpool, I think, are different from almost every club in European football, where if the manager is the king, the managers get time. Liverpool have never sacked a manager who's won the league. Never. In the history, after a few years they've resigned. I couldn't believe at the weekend that people were talking about the manager's job. When I spoke to Liverpool supporters after losing at home to Nottingham Forest, it's only going to amplify now. And I'm in the camp of you stick with the manager, because I'm angry with the players, if I'm being totally honest. I'm really angry with the players. But it does get to a stage with any manager at any club where I always use this word, untenable, where it almost feels like it can't go on any longer.
Yes, enti Jamie Carragher son Samuel Epa anopay eno Mikel Arteta and say with all the injuries still one perform well as a club.
Probably the overall performance and the way we dominated the game, the way we had to adapt to what they do, to their quality. They are a super well coached team, and it's not a coincidence they didn't lose before today. So we have to raise the standards. We knew that this game was going to require a different dimension of performances, and I think individually we were exceptional. Hopefully yes, and he will bring more confidence and more trust to the players. And we made changes, and whoever it is, with all the injuries that we still have, perform in an incredible way. So I'm so pleased. I know the difficulty of the match that we played and how much they demand in its actions, and I thought we were excellent. Well, in every phase of play as well, we score from a set situation, we score on the counter after a regain. So that's the variability that the team needs from every situation to be a danger, to be very efficient, and we haven't done today.
Yes, and Mikel Arteta son Samuel Eba and Vincent Kompany. Bayern Munich coach say I'd love to play them again. Na so person kan mu animu ya o say nya Arsenal nanka o chocho mo tiwaka krabi e o Champions League ni mu.
I think we started the game well enough, but then they had a bit of momentum with the set pieces, and once we got past that moment, I felt like we were growing in the first half. Probably at half-time I thought that continuing that way would give us a win, but and then in the second half we didn't come out at all, so we sort of let ourselves a little bit down in the second half in comparison to what we used to, the standards and everything, and I felt we exposed ourselves a little bit too easily for them, to just actually win the games on good basics. They've got quality as well. We've got to recognize they've got a very, very strong bench. So as and when they are making the subs, they're not really losing much or anything at all. And we just, I'd love to play them again as soon as possible. We'll have to wait a little bit, and hopefully in the latter stages with a good amount of learning from this game.
Right, and Vincent Kompany, so dear, and Oyerepa Hurricane. And so I need to just so I'm very sure say along the line one be share Arsenal and nimu ho baby na e hono mu dua omo sign na Arsenal and show mo
was fairly even, and the draw was probably the fair result. And then second half we just didn't quite have the same intensity, the same energy. We lost too many duels, and in the end Arsenal punished us for that. So one to learn from for sure. We're playing against a really good side, our first loss of the season, so we don't want to panic too much about it, but for sure we can learn about it.
How different were this Arsenal side to the one you faced before?
Yeah, they're a good team. There's a reason why they've won every game in the Champions League and why they're top of the Premier League. They've got good structure. They win, first, second balls, and then obviously set pieces. We
PSG ni tournament spare game and also etoja Luis Enrique PSG coach osi modern boy no mo dan na dino e ya dia omo chesa beka omo ho osi omo ye team on be guarantee sa playing style no enti enyawanwa SN no a wo mo share e space e kanu mo omo team miensa.
Well, I think so because it was a tough match, difficult. Tottenham, they played great with personality, and especially in the first half they cover everything and they defend very good. But yeah, we are a team that have a guarantee of playing that kind of match, and I think it's going to be nice for us because we have 12 points and we are at least into the first 23rd team. Okay, I hope so. It's going to be.
Yes, Luis Enrique so dear Enono Afe Thomas Frank. Osi omu Lucy 5-3 but obia hui ese no omuko compete here.
Yeah, but I was down with the positive. I think I'm very pleased with the performance. I like the bounce back after a setback last game. Today was much more the identity of the team, the aggressivity, the bravery, going forward, running at them, just everything about the performance. I was very pleased with that. And there was a lot of positive takes on the game. I think the two strikers scoring 3 goals between them. I think the whole team performed well overall. I think Archie Gray, Lucas Bergwijn in the midfield looked really, really good. Of course, the frustration is when you're going 1-0 up and 2-1 up against PSG away from home. The performance was to really get something out of the game, a point or 3 points. That was the performance too. And then there's two things. One, then you need to have a little bit margins with you.
Right, and Thomas Frank so dear Eba Ewo Jumediene so enono ene UEFA Europa League matches eba so early kick-off 5:45 p.m. matches way and toja Aston Villa any young boys ebo FC Porto bebo OGC Nice Ferna Bache any Ferran Varoshi ebebo final any Celtic ebebo Lille Metropole bebo Dynamo Zagreb, Ludogorets, Razgrad, Omni Celta Vigo, Ebo PAOK Thessaloniki, Omni SK Brand, Ebo AS Roma, Ebo Midtjylland, now for Victoria present, any Freiburg game no, and also to me Abaso, late kickoff 8 p.m. Bologna, Ebo RB Salzburg, Krevna Zevda, Ebo FCSB. Go ahead Eagles, any Stuttgart, Ebo, Genk, any Basel, Ebo, Maccabi Tel Aviv, any Olympic Lyonnais, Ebo, Nottingham Forest, Ebo, Malmo FF, Panathinaikos, Ebo, Stormgrass, Afe Rangers, any Braga game, no, so not Real Betis, any FC Utrecht. One so much na to away by way of the UEFA Europa League matches, and then you may to jump Europe day. And also in common Eddie Jao, Jumadi, so on that note, so not yet in Crofon Crossing Semino, Eddie C. and Anope Jumadiano, to also at the Amam Today's Sports Live on Oyerepa Radio, Oyerepa TV, yeah, live, Oyerepa Radio on Facebook, messages, Yakase Fabra, na Yankenkai, and Emma Clementino, the darling boy. To also at the Amai. Mama Solomon Carton, Superbi, and no Mame, na Woko. Abia kwantwa hwaba patu no obesan dia ba e dia beto so legend is seated and some wo ho say ye po Champions League we say na fie ntu huru a ni nyina no ensam no to so me boni tew na abusu atie ne ye masabro nya na ne ewura mu no enne pa Matias mema me wura ho ni nyina nso promotion bi koso nkofo kopade ne bi ato na ya twia fa bi so na ma e ho ntu twifa so aba osame ya say glass twitwa bi nyina na na Franco die wo ye wo kwa nipa ba ko ne ewe nie we be ankensi nipo da so ni afford you to call Franco Trading Enterprises here na menka wo say Black Friday ni nanu say nyema no abusafo amazing discount yes ade ye amazing na nwanwa bro adwene ntiase so eno nti ba bi na wo no a adane mpunu day for your country but ma dey make you drug am bra house see na ba hanyema pana wo pani bi aha banya Nokia phones Samsung iPhone, Smart TV, 32 to 100 inch. You're on air condition, check freezers, washing machine, microwaves, blenders, generator, CCTV camera function, monitor video, anytime, anywhere. Nina say, oh, come to see ya. Message or baby, I want to. Number 6 called Jabba Joel, Challenge Bishop, Adum Old Macon, Comfort Clinic, a whole room, amazing discount, Black Friday, and you know your titus to see a she. Number near 0245. 316969 0245 316969 6969 na wanya Franco nyama pani bi atimi ato se de said nkofo si friend number ba ko pe we no masa no den Isaac Botin din no Igbo 20 motors Igbo 20 motors woni Japan company kase pa omuna ye kasa Japan kase de efie bia amza bi da suom so on top fra na je so dada bi edis won mu a ene o ma upgrade ko manim ni nyina ne se omuna from B forward company ewiase nyina Africa ha se Nigeria ye wo agent omni ye adwuma Ghana de no ene ye Isaac Botin ebretia bi pe no ono abo pepa ka be na so pe no o we de in the next 2-3 days bi na je say e twa no ho 1 month bi o na je say ka no yakra na ba e body da form kama e ba pressure bia enim enkofre nka say welcome pay bia ni ho da bi mesraw ho asoso beto na ne watch bi to na masade ye business a e be ko nanim ntumu amu hia ka bi e fe no say Toyota Vozi ene amamra ntena nya adwuma eye no bomodin me pre kra business ye e Toyota Noah Toyota Sienta Toyota Fit Toyota Beta Honda Step Wagon ni nyina no ene se kuma se tana so ena obutuo ma menka wo say u before so bedu ya santoa main gate no obetra agrike ansa no akoya santoa agrike dan no ano bo se dantie bi se animu ne sambod ne so no cars ne safie na anim wontra ena woni fie na anim number way ena de be wo so woni the right person ena edili eye 0249 849 972 0249 849 972 Isaac Botin Igbo 20 motors Francesia Nakano would you didn't know Japan cars na American Germany cars and also and I said yeah obakra the amount a bread yebi na baby drew a brand one so ever from car choco toothpaste car Chako toothpaste Samara na kofaba ni nyina no ene se adwuma na ebono eboa ameye kasa gobi so a wotumu se wo nyina no emfamfiri wono mo uwia empa wo sifita ewura udodom hono mo konkonene no away na kese de bia no wona wo se no e kaye se nananom abrubodo tene bidie de mayenia ena da gene ni hono mo ene ekoye sa de no ene nti Samara de ba ye no abofra panyini obi atwine se a wasama I won't care mafra no ekra de no wo kosku a tobi ma no okosku ma na say woni nua no mudi nkoma watimi afa ne se ni nyina ne 0246 864 798 0501 454 462 car Chako toothpaste happy smile school ni de obi aso okobi na nso mo mawie gufia abusua yemfra wo mo no edoso ni nyina nso ba bia akoye no omo accreditation ma bia omunya omo de no anaso mo no mo ya affiliated no omo mfisa ntuba wie no ya nso osoro ni nyina no ene se Anglican University College of Technology yewo Kumasi ene Nkwaza campus mienu wei ene yasimu bia abokono kosua de kobin na hye mo pesa mo ye BSc physician assistantship mo ye BSc nursing mo pesa mo ko ye BSc information technology BSc human resource management and also BSc general management o ye ne sawia ya no aka se na idie de ebo modern ama kwama de aba no ye hia wasi ene SSC no ene ye credit pass at least A1 to C7 for wasi and also AD for SSC no de no now de aba ya ka se obebeta in 6 subject we including 3 core once no English mathematics and integrated one no na dia ka ho obu ho no mu a opeso koye general certificate education GCE ano e dia be hia advanced level pass no at least 3 subjects no e so wonya ni nyina no na wo dia pa na nyina so degree D ba ko bi e dia betwim na nyama ye kama e chan dia na wo qualification da ho a giba bebre ye so ano ne ka wo say applicant no anasa wo a wo ko school mu no so bomode na wonya HND certificate at least 2 class division na just no so second class division sorry o de no so bewuram ma trust student ne de no hia ne so humfie no e 25 years na wo do website e de attach kukro na just nyama dem foreign students ne de ye so mso nyama pay na no me ka wo say website ne www.angutech edugana we pa kai say we are expert in faculty industry connections affiliated in KNUSC and also UCC quality education accredited by GTEC number near 0501 358568 050 509154 na just say Wanya Anglican University College of Technology both Kumasi and Nkwaza campus na nyama ayekama police ni ana auto no boss ya aduro ne saa wodi ne police nyina no awurade ache na du papa ni nyina no ene se ye de ma wane ye de ama obu ho no mu ase ball osua ye bu ho ye de che no ono ne de ne de che no ti me ka wo se sharp imbus no abori po masa covid brem de ye ma nipa no ene covid ni ho na nso enim da covid foforo bi esan ebeba enu ntime ka wo se bomadim na cause say diabetes, ulcer, cancer, hypertension, UTI, candidacy, body pain, menstrual problem ni nyina no etwa na see yahu ekwa emabiem enu nti all herbal shops and also pharmaceutical license shop no obenya bi ewo ho 0246 20 84 96 0261 388-149 no nya post ne do sharp imbusrin bi ama hoto etumi abafie abusu atenie mamenka wo se Lover Groups of Company nyuma ne doso emu ba ko eye Uptown Foods bonya bebay programs bebre and the four mo organize wo de mama na onu mu okuro mu no a ye be kwa koye na ye se kakala fam obi aba woni ne ato ho na je se why discontrol woni maguase anu nti wo kwa based on the book rank ambe no wo de koma Uptown Foods wa ebuo no enuru sa eye na aba we de na aba oba no kra se wato akoma na no friends mo to na mo dwendwene ho a mo mpadua ne pa bi ni na munko Uptown Foods nko di ho no mo wo hweda ne dia wa hwa beka se mintumi na nso busua obetumi first na nka mo to chicken noodles no 160 Ghana na 55 Ghana assorted fried rice no na nka 210 and na 99.3 assorted jollof no na nka 210 and na 99 Ghana toasted chicken kesepa na da so na nka 180 and na 75 Ghana mocktail yare abeka Uptown Foods nyama pa no ho me kana sa bofufuo banku wa che no wudi atum say yes obuanum na krewa ye kokuma so great filling station ho abrepo ye JP filling station bom so ye offer Hinsan Road ko from there sika fam ne ben no patase block house Kaisa Diemra petroleum filling station tana so apatapa junction no awuram ewo anraga Oferukrom police station ho Kenya se de mommeno ewo Garden City University place orders see na friend 0596 922 066 0596 922 066 Nwanya Uptown Foods ediane pani bi edi promo ene ye enu ntifa ho na kopɛ ediane pa etumi edi adro ne ye bibini to maplas oboni di adro no edi na de adro ne di ade na sanso na adwuma no eye no etie ewura yam etumi say yes bibia ewura ni padua no mu na che say aha wa hiase na wo kenya ho ono de oso wo ma mebu na nkobetuma atwa ho ntro so ma adro no esayade we da bi yade ba kopɛ na say yade no so tete nkofo obi obenya bibia no so ne dua so asade bia no ne so tia na hetie ne yade bi na esusu no okọ hospital apɛ enu asa udi nchene tabi nchene kafe eni biem eni mako obon so obo hye ohumete wadro yi ba kopɛ bibini to maplas osa no koye no de kachiro obia no abusua enebowura Ashtown the bitter farmers na hye ho no mo enegu ho wona madumu a pepacho to bi koche obia ono nso yere osa bra promise heba obenya bi enkranfo mo hwe live on Oyerepa television mama de na mo channel so wo call cashier the bitter ba ko ene hye ho no number ne 0558 055894 0541 337 816 na nyama etumi aye kama Rockstars Roofing wasi akonya no na aba ediama wo no ni nyina no ene se obetumrika na wodan no waboso wonua na wa broche no a aha wasi ni dan de ma no a adurumoso no kai ne se oh we de ato aha kila ato ntiama moden ne amfu ya hunyim sidi ne piki ye no ache ene wasi da bi munguso na muniso mfaso dollar no nyam mekire ne de ene ebo modem fa akonya so wotira ye na ma dollar no koso a wokọ ho chance nke ya aluminium product and alozinc no abusuabu abotono no obesasa wachi ene fa akonya no so tususu tu wono mo na bowura Rockstars Roofing nationwide was it aluminium product and as alozinc consonsio enso awua fakobo woda no so na ensore school bibia momfam honyim 0501 453 869 0544 338-042 na nso wabo modern etumi ekuru down so amanyema ai kama edi amount na mekane sa wia na makawo se president de abusuye obi aje president edi atum na ojubi president tumu dia utumu say yes and she so enyema ekoyie edi amount aha nti mekawo se president no ye de mienu na di abadwa so mo amokoto president chako no ya no aka se she so nyema ekoyie kama na bona Bona tom inti yen fast na menka wo se president no wo se ene wo bomode na hunu sampa we ni ye fluoride and natural charcoal, lemon, mint, and zinc. Yet, after Friday, yes, President Charcoal, no, Winabia, was no, Amomatem, na and Brighton, a combination of nothing, and into some fita, as I can do, one more pepper student, have about 2 personal, have about no woman to know, Kakadia, when the Tonquanta pie, when you able to do a programs and more, comforting coconut now, and the say, oh, the anointing feeling now, Master Modern, the two say, with president, have about 2 pace, then Yama and Koye. When I say president, yeah, Jimmy, so happy smile, obey a happy smile, yeah, who flew up, Kai say, philo. Timo Industries, Nasemen cows and cranum and panunum will be a good for all ages. Kai say a hygienic, Ninans vitamins, calcium, protein, and your dias of Mudru, Yaduku Musano, yes, there be a man in Yauting, Ninans 1 year old to be, and as a CA, Obama Woodia, Fagum, Kukrona Koye, conflict be, Garosokins be, Whiskey be, Fire Somudru, Oko, Nasi Debi, Muni Varela or Hame Appola, Ninano, and Unsunet de, Rutinia Kama, Strawberry, Ninania Kama, and Untifre, 0599 990097 and 0207 939 968 Nanyamai Kama and Chana Boss player Eba Maminka will say a DK event already blown by a de Kayo say a Sunday 28th of December Micklin Hotel no sia Kane not just say a jet to a tour na Obi do Nibi Devi Azuma Yabako, Gradinya me. Now, in Makizi, do ya Kabibi Trame, not just say, the Acheampong Rum, Familia Namu, Samini Namu, only now bo, never yah machinwa, na a brand much the day, or born on 50 years old Romono, a daddy dear, a bayer special. Nimbo Krawente, Wabo Ediachero. Into Bomadin, na to take it to see make out say regular no air for 300, standard no air 500, VIP air 600, 5 see my pressure maso star 713 star 33 star 50 hash star 713 star 33 hash 50 star. Not just say nyama akoye di amount. I mean subium star 713 star 33 star 50 hash. Ninja say a Sunday 28th of December Micklin Hotel. Me pese mu yokuo nso bibia no mo pese mo kwa ni mu ho na yede mo table su o mamua e 0550 799 375 and 0554 458 769. Now what me auto take it. The boss player dey ba no e power specialist Heba hospital. One here akoswe do ya award ne de mene no enko pre ne nyina nsa hepatitis fatty liver prostate ulcer kidney stone sk what ya ba ne nyina no ebo atuma jirika Heba mixture and capsules bema bia ebe hia se obenya bie na yi sisi no mu amaman mu nyina so okwa akra ko benya ACP road power bar store kuma se fe ya se busumtu road adoya junction takrade de woni ahantama bank no ene ben 0244 544 422 and 0200 383831 na nyama etumi aye kama ed amount medemo share boss player nensa na show no etumi atwa so ed amamo boss
we phone so hwe ama
e ba yo na
wampa na
defender
okay
ye ni ana ne adwuma wakopi obi ana ne
so ambuji
o an yuki
eiza
I was say ne buy friend say Queensta da ko anane o pempe junior high
anani defender no ne beni
ne beni boss Queensta da ko anane
no anane no eko abroche
ba sha ni boss
se ono oti ana
ho no oti
o tu kruma
o be ba na yese obetwa no no asako
eiza
se boss na oti abaro ni ala ya brantia wa ya kokra la me ba betra na
ya nyame edemo abedue Ghana no na eze mo kokoi
ese boss the minister tia ibia o wiere de me so metie so say asokwan no ho ye una ne ba ya ne modu
another subject for another day anyway
boss you say nyama be yi
ewo
ye ntimi na o lipu adena
me dey defenders here no ane de
sa osmali bibi
me dey me either so mo kuntokwa na say ase obi ye mistake obi nkova no o de so mbe yi ball na konate ye mistake no o de be bia na Van Dijk na ase because o he ball no mbo na mo na ni mo de you also mba no mubo ekwa etiro na asema na I think that because o de man say Liverpool near ma ba form banye PSV one bet for Anfield Edian Kwan is here.
And one is a number.
Oh, the man say be a walk on the crew, maybe I told 2-1, no, then Colombia stubborn.
Yes.
No, I'm for no when you could do Bobo on it in Liverpool. No, shall go. So, when you say, we're quite Van Dyke boy, or Pijan and Sasse, the Obo basketball. Say, you monos on the Twamia. What if it was the penalty? No, first penalty on this Liverpool. I think it's first half. Early first half. I said was the Pijan and Zakos run. Never like anymore. Oh, dear, how quite a so see jump raising 5 minutes. A raising and sat to say, dear or no BB Consorna. Ah, yes. Oh, no, you replay now. So was raising and San. I had it to know. Oh, there we go, does it? I knew. Oh, but so is our quality piano. No, pure ideas are the me feel say either say, players on hard, you know.
With my boy, Tiao.
Imagine.
Your coach or so manager.
And our coach knows there be a do and we conate no. Or ye change na.
Sacrifice.
Or you conate na.
Or Javan Dyke.
And I knows walk on horse. Or you conate was, hey, I call you Krum, Holland the same way. Anyway, you know, a very better.
What was
Liverpool there. So the room will be that.
Oh, yeah, sure.
We'll see that. All right. So, but now, Boko dear. I'm saying, Kotoko.
Yeah.
And it is easy to say, Ubiani Kotoko, one, I don't know.
It's a non dada.
Ubiani for one player.
Yeah.
Also, and one I hear the power to continue. Now, after 40 something years.
Yeah.
Oh, kind of same thing.
He was trying to praise Baseke. I say number boy against every team. They are on that baby on better than but.
Now the why Baseke matches no more say.
Anyway, Jane being was to Sukakra.
I also
Jane being
was a team common so.
But once after every match, be a so casa.
Then no say,
and by Nyamahano.
Tea.
I said they near count off air. Yeah.
Go for another coaches. Omunka. Bibrinka hu wọ́n sá ànú hɔ náà no wọ́n yíyí ànú àmà wọ́n.
Ẹ̀bá ní sáà náà sẹ́ ní ọmọ akọ̀sọ́ wọ̀ ẹ̀kyírí à wọ́n di hu yà o.
And interesting, the public cannot solve the problem.
Ní sẹ́ du bẹ̀bí so ẹ̀ sẹ́ wọ́n bọ̀ ànká wọn nsẹ́mu à. Because
ọmọ pẹ́ di akọ ọmọ pẹ́ di akọ yẹ nsẹ́mu.
Nsẹ́mu ní dọ́ọ̀sù so kọ̀tùkọ̀ nsẹ́mu ní dọ́ọ̀sù paa.
But so you agree with me say. Team
yeah.
Team with a lot of interest.
Yeah.
And team must send someone awesome.
Yeah.
So, on my own, you may.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, in Grovos
to a bar. How Johnson Smith Fafa so a punishes it to know you'll be discussing.
Johnson Smith no Basek.
Yeah.
I sit on the kick.
Not on a bench. Yeah. Emma media no engaging in kakra.
Icing on the cake.
Yeah, icing on the cake.
Oh no, so
yeah. And say we need certificate in the Hana kakra. The and I say what changes to Munsu kakra. I change it to Munsu kakra. And the amount for the and I say no to amateur Arsenal born say amount for the Alpa. They felt that team will be a shiny there, so team kona kwaje wo the banana or the bear wadi. But na me shas na bo na course
but can be a no
also be a we lose 6 matches no about draw 3 we win 1 and san obobo kotoko that was
na omuma kwan my coach is in the chain to omkomza
we time no kotoko no e post match ni
na omni mre bia on
David send them to any there o person obo waso kra ba kro bia no ni asem kra
but I cannot wear the earring
to betimi abo.
Okay, be a coaches.
Players they won't me. Players they won't me. But coaches they betimi me award there they check how far.
But me who's a coach be Europe HCBO. You because omuntimi can say player ntimi nye but coach betimi aye. Who we are. Then you go and practice what you believe in.
Oh sir,
those are rings come moment.
Rings no. The coaches now tell they be ring.
Oh, be a wedding ring.
Wedding ring, yeah.
But other rings also they are their covers.
Oh, and you players no.
Players no near.
Players ko no fan bo.
Na players on my wedding.
Oh my why pa.
Yeah, ringo.
Okay, why?
That woman tiny years hours are waiting.
Almost make
from experience on the someone who we
and the crowd goes on a trim. It works. Now, two, no, no, check because we are near Junior half the Amano at our place in the paint. On one, no, to one, no, bonnet brana, do baby. And son, no, baby, inchim, Simbia. Now, and now, Champions team, too. I think so. It is getting interesting. It's getting awesome. As I know, I almost 44 goals. Net me pay for them. On time, I say no. And running rich.
No, 66.
No, and run. I think I'm quite 44. Nah, and another one here 22. Yes, into Cabo Miles goals na bapa. Now, coaches ni be beji abasobode. Ebi so ejegu omuchem. And run almost every Liverpool handle, not to say a soldier pa. The tweets were flowing. Omo demanded the sacking of the coach. Ebimusu blame how omo transfer market has been exposed. Omo recruitment has been exposed. Yebebe no so. To Atletico Madrid finally. The last is game for Diego Simeone. It looks like a failure. Simeone nyanyoma right. Out me bo more than share Inter Milan by 2-1. We'll come to that. Inter Nankasa so lose to Atletico Madrid. Now raising questions about Kiev because so take big matches this season. It looks like it's not really going well for Inter. Inter Juve will lose. Inter Napoli will lose. Inter Milan and AC Milan game no. The Milan derby to lose. And against Atletico Madrid will lose. So to some extent, match kesiye bakwa. Kwa say Inter Milan win this season is their game against Roma. Inter also the other one we'll talk about that. And the match itself, the match of the day, Arsenal and Bayern Munich game no to Ebebano. So they're starting free Arsenal and Bayern Munich game no na to hard here. Now Arsenal decision after signing Madueke to go for Eze after Abrante friend Kahavet Prime is one of the best decisions a pushy Arsenal this season. Say no be a Arsenal game no. Before say be nyabo trepan. At a point, look at the changes are now tete. That is the quality of Arsenal this season. So they are not just on top of the Premier League and also the Champions League by luck, by pure calculation and making sure say at the coach ni jidi so nim yen o miem ayeni. And possession anya Arsenal dia. It was for Bayern Munich. But Arsenal making sure say whilst Bayern Munich enya access to the ball, the few chance of more Arsenal enya access to the ball, the first thing they are doing is say they are targeting ways to penetrate the Bayern Munich air defense. That was the game plan of Arsenal. And to share ball now at a point now almost 67-33. But now in terms of quality chances, any real threat near Arsenal swear na Sadi any freeba. Making good use of every moment on the ball, quick transition and exploiting the spaces and what the Bayern Munich set up. Now let's go to Arteta. And now me kawa has said the mamu what did say Arsenal be really game way. Now Bayern Munich Kenya mutre didim cry a draw. I predicted a 2-1 for Arsenal. Say tactically, I'm expecting Arteta to outclass Coach FN Vincent Company. And so the game these days, I had to say, Dameno, how you think you exploit opponent's weakness and how making good use of space. It was a Dameno, space in the down, by the time of react now was an hokoda, maybe a name man where you bear and I free. Arsenal realized that, Mr. Two. Over the weekend, Bayern Munich conceded 2 goals from corners or set piece. It's the Arsenal first point. And sorry, and Arsenal corner and corner or no. Before you get a corner, it means you've attacked the opponent. And what force the opponent in the ball or be pinako on one side. That is what leads to corner. So Arsenal thereby come intensive pressing. People don't pay attention to that. So when you have a treasure Arsenal born, the amount of winning corner, any true opponent final 10 years, Omo Tata will one kasa and they will try to suffocate you and win the ball in your own zone. It is as Zubimendi. Any Bukayo Saka ball na a leading to corner no. If you just sequence na chirewa, baby someone says Zubimendi are expecting to say about just in front of the Arsenal defense. And now at the point na nya hono o press ya no ko win the corner. So the corner was based on the sheer brilliance of Arsenal and the high pressing of Arsenal and the leading to the corner. Now I'm so too hard here. And now Arsenal ball no ball. On paper, na Ebere Chieze in front of Zubimendi and Declan Rice. But Adieba who Arsenal no say Miguel Moreno now no gina him as a striker. No. Most of the time no about the support for them to have the numbers. Now Eze is not static. It happened for Chelsea when he played players omuye mobile and omu interchange. Bukayo Saka is not static. Then you get Trossard so also not static. Until Arsenal had about 6 players almost first line of defense to stop Bayern Munich. And again, Manuel Niwa say me say Arsenal for ninya corner they celebrate it like a goal. Or say who players na ni mo omode ba ababe bo corner na. Now I dey say as omanya penalty obube goal. That is what we call fear factor. And Arteta e say who na to obi aso. So if you want the corner that led to the goal, check how Manuel Niwa was feeling so uncomfortable in his own area. This is a dear Arteta planning. Who so bet me use and the team your friend Abraham Munich. So the lineup was spot on, the attacking plan was spot on, the pressing system was spot on, and again Omeki sure said, let me just leave them to play the ball and let me focus on punishing them. And it was excellent. Then we Calafiori free bench by Yehuni Impact. And we Madueke free bench by Mr. Obenyago. Martinelli free bench by Mr. Onusubenyago. This is what we call excellent substitution and game management. Tinesa Arteta quite of fast at every particular point in time. It went in the favor of Team FN Arsenal. And Arsenal is a strong side, Mr. 2. Now, Adieba Arsenal be the mentality of the Arsenal players. I feel a smooth season for Arsenal. And I'm disappointed some of us are near what say a few way Arsenal when we were saying Arsenal were going to win the league. March back when we did this Arsenal for Adjuni. Any ball was last season game on board against Madrid. After Arsenal team share Madrid no Mr. Otuo or Madrid for ball assassin. They now have that inner belief that after defeating a giant like Madrid and after that excellent transfer window, Mr. Otuo, Arsenal had an excellent transfer window. Because last season, Martinelli a pra, now Odegaard a pra, Cabrici na abo. But then Martinelli don't have a guaranteed position. If Martinelli is out, Eze can play that position, even when Trossard is not available. Say Joe Carres Mokrani Mr. Otuo ome prepra. Can have a team by. People still forget that Gabriel Jesus is an Arsenal player. But check how they are playing the game. Check how they are comfortable. And now saying that Gabriel Suniho. But look at how they are playing. See, Arsenal is an interesting team. They seem to have a solid team and an excellent manager. It looks like now he has control over his team. And now they Ben White Bem. Every other team back on. So who say more and let's give credit to Arsenal. The patience finally paid off for the Gunners. Now, Mr. Otuo, Liverpool come on. Slaughter lose 9 matches in 12. And this is terrible. Now I'm called for Kana as a Slaughter, no, despite all these defeats. As a pressure, say, corner so sir. My first started linking if it was a different manager, a different club. You too. This season performance are slot up to up no. And why still on us Liverpool beat man be 2 matches be hard there no. The last season. Did from last season. The last season my Liverpool for no say. You know we take a crown hard here. And they have do because if was any other manager I don't know this kind of resource and KB Krana after City 3-0 na nke pamono. Cannot see am the enemy toso. PS with the enemy torso. But based on the Oyene last season, they have the belief that he can turn things around. Now the obvious problems for Liverpool. Otuo, Van Dijk, Konate, they are not in the best of forms. They are making elementary mistakes like amateur defenders. So when Liverpool team now some man tieni mienu and they say ye pillar Edman Liverpool no coordinate the right back and the left back. Unfortunately for them, Otuo omumom na let the team down. And not to initial bench coach nini obia obetimi dia ba behim to either bench one or create competition for them. And also obia oba behim to fix the cracks in a different formation. And Kadia to Liverpool, it has a coach in drop back. And I could defend a four from not Naban and Kabia will be no I for a 3-back system. Maybe a 3-back system will reduce the errors. A 3-back system will create at the end of a cover-up player. Player you cover up for the mistakes of the two. No, Ababe, the new bond and glue for the two. But only a matured one in that shape. Now, one particular player so for refisa fee, ne modi mona sisakaka Gravenberg. And he raises question about the transfer now Liverpool here. Liverpool at a point in time were crazy about Caicedo. Liverpool at a point in time wanted Zubimendi at all costs. Then an it means that now Liverpool for no say omu DM hono kakrano komunya a different person obetimi abomo. Last season Gravenberg was a delight to watch in terms of tackling, in terms of ebia yeti ball from the defenders and starting the build up for Liverpool. At the end of the final third drive, some of the ball no finfi me pia so ade aba be duro opponent in the last 25 years no na Gravenberg ya de pam so to afis was steady. Most of the goals are Liverpool conceded. When it's going through the middle, you don't see that cover up and that shield and protection from Gravenberg. But Ushemwa Gravenberg ni wa why na wo sa kofa na ba and so ba be issue. So Liverpool 70 bebre. And I feel the pain for Slot. Continue Mr. Otuo do January. Ebian Liverpool be enforce your defensive unit. No. Near I say after enforcing the defensive unit, whether a bit me about sustaining the attacking unit for them to avoid a disastrous season. But the kind of results never no, a kill confidence. The kind of results no, a reduce the fear factor of Liverpool. Into one say your piano bebo says here, there will be end to end. No Sasha first go no Sako Ginechiri, and you now decide to attack them, then they exploit the spaces. So interesting times for Liverpool. Someone sticking with the manager, and also someone permanent depend on the options available. But to say we share coaches are omu free. Do do sign na a brace obet me say ometima ba be shima ye adwuma no. Most of the coaches are occupied. And no more money occupied, no more national team no so no. They play now qualify for World Cup. Intimatis amount for Nagelsmann. But we qualify for World Cup with a promising German national team. Obeja also about the fall Liverpool in the middle of the season and the answer is no. Coach Bakwanka, you be person of a fan who will probably be Zidane. But to show Zidane in common now. Who said that we say Jumano na afro no. Say or then or po. Zidane seems to be so okay even when he's not coaching. You talk about Xavi. Can Xavi survive in the Premier League at this particular point in time based on the Oyerepa Basanana? And the options available and had the big headache for the Liverpool setup. But almost problems in the doors. Attack is not fine and defense is as poor as it can ever be. Unfortunate time for Liverpool to too.
That's it, Pedro.
Well, my mention is free Anfield, Liverpool, PSV, Eindhoven. Liverpool will be airborne Peter Bosch Abaso, when the Jumedia OD, PSV. Didn't know more Abaso. Just this season, the Champions League, or share the current winners of the Italian Serie. Last season, Nomun still on the crown title in Napoli. Liverpool, so the holders of the Premier League title, and was Abashomo. It was Napoli 6 and was Liverpool 4. In these two big games, the two are 10 goals and the PSV. Recently, I hear something I am familiar with clubs of the Eredivisie, which are the Dutch league. and kebia latter stages of the 80s, early 90s na ye wires mo being called by Louis Van Gaal and omoma sa score line ya to ka enyon, but PSV ede maye and to be the champions of England and found one former Liverpool Anfield to be the champions of Italy at that moment Tomokobo game no Napoli were on top of the Italian Serie A. It is to score these two teams no PSG for ye BB, but here you know because they are not playing in a liga to other leagues na dwane agya omo ena na make say 90s no sa yas team na that had the likes of Jerry Littmanen, Mark Overmars, the likes of Clarence Seedorf, Edgar Davies, Nwankwo Kanu, George Finidi, that had the Ronald Koeman, Ronald Koeman, the Frank Dubois brothers, Frank Dubois, Ronald Dubois. That yas team was a team of the two. See, a season Biana. Team Bioway Robia so called Nokoto players. And what they did that period, a lot of clubs have benefited. Talk about AC Milan. Okasa about the Holy Trinity. Marco van Basten, Frank Rijkaard will hold it. Apart from Hullet, Rijkaard even came from Benfica, but all his training was to know General Ayers. Marco van Basten. Seedorf went to Real Madrid, won the Champions League with Real Madrid in 1998. The Frank Dubois acquired Barcelona. Jared Littman and the acquired Barcelona. Justin Kluivert, when he moved to AC Milan before moving to Barcelona. George Finidi Patrick Kluivert. George Finidi Nwankwo Munyina. It was a liga. You be race season be an man for the money here. Akwa players. She said yes, and it's a real game no. And hen attention never shift here. Liverpool never share the 4-1 because I don't know be a person can want them. And it's what to hear be with Liverpool. And Omomodo Liverpool no, I try to find means to explain Liverpool problems no. But Mobo game ne, nobody explanation. But reason why Liverpool are not winning games are they actually no must lose game. It's a explanation will be the buy and game compared to game number one and no. So to know the difference. Watching the Liverpool team closely, Kakana Maheno, to coach no team ten nyoma. When you say before this game, among you closer to Liverpool, says since or joining Liverpool on Monday at the Liverpool tactical boardroom, the kind of discussions from since I slot by Liverpool, onye be da. And there were a lot of confidence going into this game. The maintain is what I say. About 9 to 10 players are consistent. I was a period where Liverpool to be winning games. And when you're not so better than the team anymore. He keeps on repeating the same lineup. And the same lineup is to you are losing. And yes, sign of a good coach. Coach the Oko Bakum Yenu yes, when he's a coach we are on the first 11. Bako Bakum Yenu say nine. So who show who are looking around you. You should also look at players now selected on Domako Bobono. They might be quality players, but you do period beer. They are not giving results. Ball no more bonema results. It's you need to make changes. Time Liverpool started so lose. Now me can't say the Liverpool fans they been timase. The exit of Luis Diaz. Makase the closest to Luis Diaz when it comes to the fighting spirit. There are players, the way they even behave on the pitch, the kind of attitude. I will show a pitch national. I am the Musunko, Ebeni Luis Diaz. And then will be shared by Munich and then a Arsenal game no. Almost a Bayern name makes Luis Diaz. Sana will Liverpool. Yes, you might say Abia may a fan of Italian football. But the closest ever Liverpool to the fighting spirit of Luis Diaz, Federico Chiesa. Period here will losing. Obo is a quite a sentence in Odnebaya and Sanfa. Obo Ekitiki. ubo Mo Salah no bokodi gapo emfa. It is sometimes great competition. Say your positions are winning players there. Other players to substitute or mom starting now and Tiasium. But yes, a Liverpool story in it here. Now the side aspect of the coaching in Iran say, and it's what, and I'm who say Liverpool started season in a season way. Liverpool best player, Soboslai. Oko club bia say you start season na player bi modern bokosro na on my results. Why will you change Soboslai? Our boss your midfielder who has become so important to your team. Now you not nakobo right back. And to say Real Madrid bo mo boni ni Kylian Mbappe she goes. Ne be da sori no pabini ese ko Real Madrid game. Na Alonso yi Kylian Mbappe e dey fini position obo. Oso mebo position na to ameni bo no. Anu bi na ni slot here no. And when Alexander Arnold free ho no. So you went in for Frimpong. I know establishing who in the German Bundesliga. Played few games. Afraid you know, because you feel say people will criticize your signing. But if or more to develop into the Premier League, that be na be you know. Liverpool 2 centre backs and Makasa Adewi last 2 seasons I'm raising this concern. Mini akokwa enkra no menya adwene. And Mitoma say when club supporters are used to certain players based on what Oma achieve with their club na e do period bi ombe so betiase. Makasa Virgil van Dijk, Mo Salah. And no more mind with Liverpool no. Maybe it will take years for Liverpool to get players on reach the standard Virgil van Dijk and Mo Salah at the Liverpool. But the fact of the matter is Virgil van Dijk no more bonitisu no. Yes, Liverpool won the Premier League last season. But to sit down carefully. Now analyze Virgil van Dijk the last 2 seasons. Those will decline it. Eba form. Yes, is a transfer market no. Finding a player how about replacing Mo Salah na then until at least the moment 1 season. One players to only used to certain things, especially when they achieve more. Omo be relax. Motivating them e be a problem. Mo Salah onye motivated. It's a your coach said there. Say you need to change your team, change players. Tactically, this Liverpool team doesn't look like a team as a last season Common G League. And only my own so we can move against West Ham. After the year won their last 7-8 games, the truth of the matter is Liverpool and West Ham never so weekend. No. West Ham never favorite to win the game. Because you need that Liverpool best have back him. It's just imagine check the position of West Ham. Liverpool go against West Ham. Based on the young win. Say PSV show 4-1 ewo Amfoda. Go to West Ham in and West Ham are also picking up under Nuno Espirito Santo. It's clearly Liverpool should act quick, behave like a big club. You're trying no, will not work. And it's lot lose confused. How to even use these players to get results about a problem. But majority of these players, yes, and in say Liverpool are one club. They do a lot of data analysis before they will spend. But if there is a season, coach we call Liverpool need a lot of say in the players of Motoya. A season way with and it's slow because now Liverpool hierarchy a lot of confidence in him. But baby if Real Madrid go at that top of the Spanish La Liga, who say Alonso Curano, mo born and handle players in your man they are discussing internally. Say be Alonso Yanyankwa. Liverpool baby or Moduno. You cannot behave like Manchester United. Where a coach will make supporters feel like a Chinebe. Clearly, baby and Yoma Konedem too. It doesn't look like a Yoma Beye. And this Liverpool team There is no spirit behind the team. The Liverpool, Mr. Otuo game will never walk alone. The supporters will be shouting because players will be to shout for. And yes, our Liverpool team, they bought a lot of players, spent a lot, the highest any club in the history of British football. And I spent it one particular season. The Liverpool here this season. Looking at the results they are getting there, and his lot can't continue. But ABA, after West Ham game, the Liverpool board will realize that maybe I do need it, and the other players, this season is over the year. Liverpool should start looking at them again. Obiti Van Dijk, Omunyana Kwan Manenko, Musala, Omunyana Kwan Manenko. Liverpool will need a proper defensive midfielder. And now share Arsenal game ma. Should be say Zubimendi. When you watch Chelsea, should be say Caicedo. To what they give to their teams. Zubimendi Kwan Yamawa. Because one weakness of Zubimendi as a player was the defensive qualities. And how Arteta has changed Zubimendi from somebody you could have easily classified him as a deep line playmaker. And we are very perfect when it comes to interceptions. And we are very perfect when it comes to going into tackles to win balls. So we should know now Caicedo. Now we have Casemiro for 55 minutes. It's also about 55 minutes we are, sir. They offer 55 minutes. Now what did to talk Gravenberch Genoa? Liverpool tried to last season no 3 years no die. They were made to believe that Gravenberch was their answer to what Fabinho no offer more. A proper defensive midfielder. Lack Nini Hubium. Players here Mabomudi. When you check the standard by Chelsea Caicedo. Fanoto took how to close space, a protected on back line. It can also be a factor exposing Liverpool defense, because Omunya will be a to sense danger when we be bad defenders in this way. It is the areas I think Liverpool is almost strengthened, but still, and it's slowly lose confused. And once again, we could be a lot of experience. What big club members to handle pressure and be there, the story might be different. But Michelle Dia, Liverpool should act fast. Now, Omongo coach him now. Now, me sure DBCCA. Arsenal never a money game, and baby, I am sure wasn't players no more starting. I was looking at two teams now on my bench, Enra, Ewo Emirates. So, you started with Arsenal. This was Arsenal bench yesterday. Ben White, Hincapi, Martin Odegaard, Gabriel Martinelli, Kepa, Christian Nordgaard, Noni Madueke, Ethan Waneri, Ricardo Calafiori, and Tommy Setford, who was the assistant goalkeeper for the day. Bayern Munich, Kim Min-jae, Leon Goretzka, Nicholas Jackson, Tom Bishop, Hiroko Ito, Rafael Guerrero, Sacha Boy, Sven Ulich, Wisdom Mike, and Jonas Ubek, who was the assistant goalkeeper yesterday. When you put this bench down, two teams bench now the tour. Yes, Bayern Munich might have a strong first 11, but the question is, if some department of the first 11 ends me as earlier, that means the total when you have Bayern bench we are in a big game. Ombetia Babese Sanana. Answer ni ye debi. Utu any the her Arsenal bench na. Bench wa Arsenal captain to wo. Martin Odegaard etwo. The same bench Calafiori to wo. Okay, say Arsenal to Noni Madueke na me make an argument for Noni Madueke ofia. And I make say Chelsea supporters are not being fair to this player. Madueke na ye can answer no. Obi o share Madueke at PSV. Before joining Chelsea. Ask yourself reason why Chelsea expanded to buy Madueke. Ask yourself what period and Chelsea for you say even he's not doing well, but when you call up into the national team. Now can you make a crable on the ball no? It be say why you take on the final delivery, whether he is passing for a player to score and also no any opportunity to score. Me penoni Madueke attitude. Omuni ho abofia. Onye sa players na okotima. Ofu say na level no from other players are better than him. This is a player he feels say even with the England national team eso start obo. Yemfa muntunchen. Ricardo Calafiori. Before we move from the Italian Serie A to the English Premier League, that season with Bologna, yes, Bologna winning league, under Thiago Motta. But arguably, he was the best centre back in the Italian Serie A. Italy European Championship no munya about tournament under Spalletti. Some of the bright spots Italy team na Calafiori count. On his Akenye, Lazio for captain. And there will be a Nicolo Barella. Then Gabriel Martinelli, he has been consistent the last 3-4 seasons. The left side of Arsenal attack, Ronald Troni didn't hold. Arsenal supporters didn't attempt, but on one coach in the manable. A few times here changes no. Zoto Trossard prior no ni Madueke ne bae. Serge Gnabry who game no so. Nicolas Jackson ne bae. Bukayo Saka free no. Gabriel Martinelli ne bae. Konrad Lema free game no. Ton Bischoff ne bae. Joshua Kimmich free game no. Na Leon Goretzka ne ba. Luis Kelly free no. Na Calafiori neba. William Timber free no. Zutuna Ben White neba. Rafael Guerrero eba beyi Leonard Carr. Eberechi Eze free no. Na Martin Odegaard neba. Dayo Upamecano free no. Na Kim Min-jae neba. It is a fast when you talk about a complete team. Not only the first 11er. Based on the Arsenal players no. Actually, no. It looks like a neighbor be a jinano. Yes, the season still is too early. Me whole season I declare the winners of the season in November. But when you watch the Arsenal team, it looks like in Europe, the most complete team in Europe Arsenal team no. Players net bench no. There are majority of teams in Europe, top clubs. Not even the likes of Real Madrid, Barcelona acquired some bench in yet. Even PSG, we are Premier League, you can talk about City, yes, little closer. But the quality level of players, no multi City bench and no multi Arsenal bench. We have no acquired the Yamediamoya, almost a was so. But when you're winning area, you need big games to send message. Tell the whole world, say what drew. And anyway, before the game, no woman say, Arsenal boy against the best performance side in Europe before a game, Once Arsenal were on top of the English Premier League, now Bayern Munich at the top of the German Bundesliga. The difference between the two is now Bayern Munich and drop hole, I'm going to lose a game. I say even a record that the great AC Milan side with Fabio Capello here, now Bayern Aseno. It's for Arsenal to beat them by 3-1, and 3 goals in Arsenal share, One was true Arsenal trademarks say, which a corner kick. The other two, offer no Madueke go na a Calafiori in a man assist. Omumi ni nasu free bench nearby. Then the third goal, once Arsenal decided to sit deep, by an A team omo on the high line. And omo break you omo. Manuel Aba, Martinelli above fan home, had an empty net, placed the ball in the net, and Arsenal winning by 3-1. It is your Arsenal Babe do stager. They are not afraid of injuries. Injuries ain't mean say Arsenal season. But they are giving the same character show in Enra because Champions League, it do the more than you meet Champions League clubs for more character. Yes, last season they beat Real Madrid. Almost the most successful when it comes to Champions League. Almost standing toe-to-toe with PSG. PSG qualify. And now we had the Bayern Munich now. And they will be a fan the pen and the paper. Now Ochocho Champions League now. Nobody can take Arsenal out of the favorite. It's a third Arsenal team now said say. When you drew, because you said that they will qualify. You do the Royal Champions League now. You do the Royal Champions League, baby, and you can say you money for Arsenal is almost so many for movie. because they have the squad to compete and go far and to win the Champions League. Other games, of course, let's come out to Inter 2-1. Christian Kivu no Inter Milan team no, or Sanyoma from Simone Inzaghi. And Saturday I'll talk about the Inter Milan team very well. And he say Simone Inzaghi, coach, he believes in low block. He doesn't come pressing you high. It's in a fa can't say Inter. By Kivu by no, only believe in pressing high. No exposing the defense no. Now coach is now transfer June why na Thomas. Uko game ko press high. O back three apart from Manuel Kanji. Francesco Achebi was 38 years. Alexander Bakswani, open one of his weakness are his speed. It's there we are exposing the back three no. Especially Achebi, how using as last man. It is to the share Omone Milan. Time for Fana far ball no. Ede ball ne ma Salamakis. Or drive ball no. So much ball ne to no. Ko Christian Pulisic speed no. Nafa compare Kanji die no. Ene baby na Inter center backs no. And now show me let's come at the same thing. And at this stage it looks like they are having a goalkeeping problem. So much so how Mokaka. It goes and as edition na due to a hard clubs here me bo mudin na clubs are what the teams or lose to them or lose to Juventus that time and that he go to a defensive coach or lose to Antonio Conte Napoli a defensive side or lose to AC Milan Allegri a defensive coach or lose to Atletico Madrid Diego Simeone a defensive coach or first our coaches in they sit deep. Almost space and some of my attack. That is the reason why Inter Milan in these games do almost but in smaller games no they find a way to score more goals because these teams no they are not good when they go on counter attack.
Good results there. Madrid so manage say amukweso omo nche aida by omnia 4-3 Tottenham 5-3 and all that. Lawyers have to go. Now what is saying? Una mu wache anaze
mbisa yeso tuka yeso kwa buchi
mpacho dewe
anega na
ai abuchi de ere weda ko ya ni wo ha
lezo ko luka chemini
me ni ma no ha dwere ticket ni ade so be boy de ha
amafo da uma
ese o mo je bibia o omni scanning okay omni scanning system my ampa there's a scanning system man correct
sikadi depends there ubia
o see ka the general one no ye ka general one no
sika so entimi ngo
se free tete no
o fight
the enya me no me question no send ye ayi ye free tete be see dey say bu ska bi ni bi anti my question is not about obotom but edu ba bi a am sika ni krum enti o leske ye wodi biade ye de ye so bi o yare but oni sika o de ko hospital o de obi dinje zo oni di ha oni obi o so oni de o de beji nani de o de solve no de owo but de ahotene man onya obi o so a on sa na me ka no
ntokro twetwa
on whose part
ebi a obo na ba bi o so bi
so ma fe no nya ba asem no America amen ma udi nti ana o ma me ada so no ma yango lo ya fa na ba nti na no me ma
ka system ni de lo ya no ko mo ne say no ko mo ne say aka o hwanyo ma ekoso a ka eze ka nyoma bofom e ma sika ba system ni at least 1 year meti o mampanyi mama me bona baso
e wo de ho
o mi to say ka wo hwe even dollar I say yeah most of our trade no o hwe baby a dollar gina sisi ya but uwie no e wo soro a ade ba ko a omo madi Ghana so nyina ntimi nyane say mi to omo ntimi ma fom
price regulation
hwe a uni ma ro husem lawyer tm ni say de oye na wati afankan kwa so lan kusa na pu na to say offer flight and from Kumasi to Nkran and Nkran back to Kumasi. Now we need more than 5,000 Ghana cedis. Untimi nkomba.
Nasa flight never will be.
No, meba.
Yeah, Muntumwa. Also, Tina, because you have a cancer.
Say, Kawoshe, by flight rate. Mostly they use the dollar rate. It's if dollar na aba forma. I said commutimate so because omufu and one no muto nyina they buy it in dollars. So what I say. But ebia omo bu man no. Aya ma dollar aba form no. Omo so omo use sika no operate no. No mo do mo to omo nyomem. Those are the areas I think that as a government.
Asama ye kan makoje na dibo.
So what I say.
Ontimo we say bibia be. So no yan.
Omo gani mahama aboa na sa nyoma ni nyina stabilize no. Omo mra form.
Nti no also buza say dey bom tutu din no.
Amafo team more than dodo.
Ebia na ni one start dey team na dey.
Ediane kwa lawyer kan. Ediane dey so.
Zolo enko.
Baby.
Yanti bibia so.
Ye continue. Kingdom Herbal Center, Kingdom Garlic Capsules and Bitters, 15 years. You introduce asaya de na arthritis, hypertension, stroke, akuma ya de cholesterol level back from Kingdom Ginseng Power Capsules, sexual weakness, if you waist pain, mental stress, and also if you Kingdom Tremendous Capsules, a man drew a CSMA. Emma omo eye kama enwei ebi ewo herbal shop chemical ene eye pharmacy bia ubewura na oso ato de na bibia e kama e de ama Fre Kingdom ewo 0597298855 Kingdom no challenger Amen Scientific Hospital obaya so ya ye use stroke e free ho awo ho nsem ne yade atena oso ache yade kwankran no pa e na ye ho adwuma ewo yasoye ye the machine free yade ne ba 24 different certified medications ye the beka na wanya ahoto kuma se atwema tachiman kwada so fo ase ekwan so other branches Ghana 18 edu enwotwe enchi boga wa bibia ni akra takra de tamale atebubu nkoko sunyane ho se wi de biso and afi ho ho free Amen Scientific Hospital 0277 001234 0277 001234 Kangen Energetic Drinking Water alkaline water and no na system ni here and kono acidic water bia ne nkofo how and famro acid beni pedua ni ma yade ebetumi atenem alkaline wo hono ma yade entumi ntemanu nti and also no Kangen Energetic Drinking Water bo liver wakoma ene kidney ho ban e free nyarewa ho Brema UGC Tafuni Road Abawaru Junction Afelizi Hotel Santase Pakiki Stadium Ashtown Sumankwani Junction in Suno ebi ewo Fre Kangen mpanyin for 0241 449191 and 0507 3774 9474 0507 379474 Apomode Herbal Clinic Dr. Sam and yade ni nyina ho and a last stop na okwa glaucoma, eye pressure, cataract, syphilis, long and short sightedness, obey ho adwuma edama wani no ebe hu ade bi mema esum endru wani eba ne sa ni padua no ya na ye areho nko a ko doctor so ye e Kumasi so for life so ya for kwan so on Assemblies of God aso no e na edi animhwe onfa Pomodin Herbal Clinic and number is 0551 098961 0551 098961 Grow Fine Herbal Tonic mojadro onsano na etiti tunum Grow Fine moja ne benanti ye ewo untumi ni di abedidi untumi na abeda oba onsebu achi happy unum Grow Fine dra ebe boko ede ama peno ibito e Colinac Herbal Smart Herbal Frediments Apidank Pure Leaf Chemical ne Herbal Shop biano enuno ebi e ho Fre Grow Fine panyim for e 0244 596532 0244 596532 Edek SMB test kapi eba ABA Herbal Clinic osi omo wadro fagu aduanim nedi ebeti wani ne so edi ama ewura ni ntini ne so na ye ni wadwuma nyina edi ama ewo ABA Herbal Clinic na de tie ne se ukọ eye sofata sofo rasta wa o hypertension o prostate o liver any kidney yade a fa ken yade ne ho na fa ko ABA Herbal Clinic be ye ho adwuma edi ama omo kwada so meche Kumasi edwuna se won ma main market echiro kwada so dwuna se main market echiro adoma yinkro wo mo Ebenezer Preschool no e wa pia Kubi store wa 0541 565 199 and 0502 812 161 PBL Promise Broadcasting Limited on FM TV Promise Radio TV end of year mega watch night ne baso 5th December ye 4 quarter ya 9 p.m. to 4 a.m. brane nyina mompaye botaya ye jina so abompaye no e finishing war ye wie ni ye Philippians 1:16 and ye jina so abompaye kwaku jesi Jojo Ahimebelochi Joshua Bono eni Sha Patrick kom nyina beba abehu enwom enti dani draw 5th December bra na ye nkamom na ye mompaye ye wi a 20th of December Partners and Pairs Jumedie no eba so e Mikado Plaza. Speakers no Pastor Patricia Morgan Ishen, Bishop Dr. Stephen Tufon, Apostle Abraham Lanti. Ye ba be kabom nya revive ya ware nya connected singles we are near celebrity love enwom ho aduane wo ho de opeso ye bia no ebi e ho da no enti no dia ne so beje ticket 500 cedis for couples and 300 cedis for singles. Go ba address kama said the be connect to amu bia enye dene emfama nipa kro bra ye phone desk na beje o ticket ni bia na be frɛ 0506 044 834 and after 0249 725 017. Partners and Pairs Jumedie 20th December and eba so yedi si Jumedie no toaso edi amamo still live on Oyerepa 100.7.
Okay, and as a lawyer auntie captain Emre Cheana na mi busa mi abia na lawyer betima boy mi committee no mi no de na ministerial na de na ye pay de he work cup de na ye
o say de no no great no e work out there direct ana ministerial de Kofi Adams ye chairman
me na mu say o make point bi na number bi na jibo as a jibo uncle asem ni
so hu that
what do committee na chairman na who we are going to report am
I just wanted
wow to committee was am here chairman now we are about to report am wan
so
they say and a chief of staff so better there
I only purely for the World Cup and also mo no
and you go via than there
and on the I will advise you
on there eh dibo mu refi da hom kwaya no ho story na da no mo ya World Cup dey na dikan ho oh so be a refi
so World Cup beka ho
majority of them say World Cup committee
no I don't think it's majority
there na
na 3 or 4 okay amba every president
no chief of staff the every president go mo okay
well mina bino abedi pele o ma
adem de ba ko ogu minister there you
World Cup go
continue to say what thing go for muntuno for as a minister
you dey ad hoc committee o chief of staff there no after World Cup
and advice in the nyado
I think that has been there until maybe the government leaves office under this so ebi I know dey be time
what is
legal advice na me hwa se na me really din am free kodokoko baseke with man na complacency I see that now they went
based on Asemna
kan
coach ne kan
because Asante Kotoko who's Asante member kan say see do no any Sunday woso ntakrache Asante Kotoko Ghana ha enye ne na obi be hu say team be Kotoko be bo a obi on the team no preparation I was including coach Karim Zito no crowd the team of boy ya no bo Kotoko no he knows this and he has been the Kotoko coach wa call Asamba he knows that say Kotoko no obi ari Kotoko be bo a including omom no Kotoko bo kumase a when I know Kotoko ne young apostles bomba ba woni be boy because 11 west and now baller young apostles and kumase and Kotoko a boy lawyer it is say okobo baseke now we na wo be ka say afi na fu say afi team bia ne Kotoko ba oyere ne ho a na asema be na asema Kotoko supporter want to hear. So I think they talk say baseke because they are not doing well because prior to that game now they've won only one game against Babiani Gold Stars. Now last but one league, you know. Win one pay. Throughout the starting league of 10 matches, I don't want one. So they thought Kotoko going to run right over them. So by the time we realize it, you know, many more work with him. So no can say Kotoko didn't play badly, but yet what I say they lost. So I think that mindset, you know, must have accounted for that defeat, you know. So coach, I think it's going forward, no. Saturday, I said they be on Saturday, no. What the team say, which I know what the team say. When Kotoko is playing the team, yeah.
obiara team kase boy no.
Of course,
your motivation is also be fa no akobobi. Team is asem we no minim bia un say an interview no.
I'm trying to
obi busa asem bi. Na wuyi ano ne akotwa ho.
Yeah.
Say nyesa dia, it to say bia wo oyire no no ba akotoko.
Yeah.
Enti sa enya asem nena. Obi ba beka any team obi a motivation and say obi team kase be boni ehu ni ato na azo akobobi.
Yeah.
And it's not alone. Any big team. Oh, you don't want so. In the end, we idea. Oh, season start here. After we lose back.
Yeah.
We lose boy. Yeah. We lose in the
Of course, and the record. Hold on, the casa. Now, chief of staff, as I'm working.
Yeah, inquiry. I mean,
yeah.
Go for the 18 questions.
Chief of staff, as I'm what catch the committee now. What you know? As I'm meeting. Many are going pop. So oh, say the only how because oh, I'm say American car 10 years in the movie. But among for omani abrik room ha epese omu etukwan no omu tie no omu bochifa chief of staff obaso papa
na na di omu nchiremu wana kaza ana chinchina obi be kwa America wana
o sister here da for
me ba see ekwe group no obi be ko Mexico obi be ko Canada
so see Canada or Mexico na so ma
that be say Ghana asa de ye dia to America ho who dey them no
so America dey woni chese
me chese yakoya de na ebi yakora de nyo ne be ko esi nkoma ya America ena na mbele musa ye de yakọ dada na say
ba ka tia cross so qualify go uti ko ba bia obeba
anjo je visa na o kwa de be ma kolumi ense nyina visa na
de bi uji hanu akọji awa ba
abrofu be he o say Ghana ni akọ bo ti bi kate kokọ aba no ora ba bi akọ ye ni
o kan ka ideal ni say so bi e desire so ko ye wake up dia esen gonya right so be ko city bia bo ko so ideally I don't see why anybody should prevent to be say.
I don't see why we present.
But why wouldn't you say? Who's a restriction?
I don't know to preventing go for.
Who's a restriction? That's a restriction. That's a restriction. Omo akwana start lose bi mo.
Me dem visa mo de welcome. Mo de America so.
Go American. Hey, who kasa no hedi. Tama no go American. Me back to the first time. Near Costa Rica tournament. Many visa, they refuse me.
Yeah.
Then I'm going 5 years. They refuse me first time.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
How?
What do you mean?
Where was it going? Where was it?
But maybe I go back. I'm doing my work. Who can some idea to know what come back? Of security now. Security. But
I hope say FIFA ebe here on duty.
Now no FIFA president ko why let no jado na trouble dey. Oruko joy.
Obe you can everywhere.
Captain. Akaba obeko. Say minimum so mo yes I dey say una ana din ne mai.
Oh, and the head of sports never. I say see the man come go. So the America. What's America?
Never home maso. Yeah, say ko ba.
Who's America for 109 to become ba.
When you found.
Oh, America for no say now. Oh, here's a number of times. Number of times oba interview here when you know. E be so do ma
there be here in pass. Anya sa no me too. It depends on the occasion.
Oh, says you nim say na oba 3 times.
Omo location.
Aye.
E be a day, the whole day.
Yeah.
E be a B1 B2. E be a business some the whole day.
Omunya mawia.
If they read the 50. E be kwa na wo second say here say deny.
Yeah,
because omo ma bi.
And omu deny so oni asem ka.
No, na ka say
no make all right of appeal. Na afi omu ko. Lawyer na fa abu sense of design.
Egusu.
Say papa na mden be okomu no amba.
Papa dey.
Dem go fa nzo me fa abu sense so. Go for say
onko baby.
Sa ode adwuma.
Henry.
Ode adwuma. O adwuma ne ya me ka o adwuma.
O adwuma.
Sa fa abu sense so no cut down mun kan wa asem mo
ne. Fabu sense obi any who football fraternity ma onim fabu sense so masem.
Ekoso.
And I said that be
wa ni ato no ani hu.
And said that be ani be kan say because bibia online so. Information now.
Into the registration no.
Ya bie mu a ye won nipa o mo na mo ye. Obi a so a wo ntimi nya sa akwan so online ye so na be so o ya. Tama ne ba bia bia se du no. Yetimi nkasa kasa ba bia so o ya. Ye the mechanic say a bit disappointing. Numbers na inya no. Enya de esoni.
E wo de hu.
In terms of numbers, aye pe no.
Oh, Fabu Census.
Because the expectation
is a number near saying.
You have around 30,000 home baby. And the expectation is say, Cabaret and be obey 100,000. Now then, can say 5 citizens, 10 citizens per. And enough for now, say by Pagan standard. Nanka gauge process increase here. Kakotoko put the two together and Kayawina as well.
It is a Fabu Census one of the main sources are Monday. Musica in Mudinska Yetim.
Oh, mean to me, can say,
one of the main.
You mean, and that is the expectation. Think about solve all other issues. Sabi, on the Uncle you was able to
be a Munas and Fabu Census, and I'm the Yetim.
Well, we share some of the last month, it was about 60,000 so.
And I say, for
Fempa. Anka the expectation.
I don't think I know the Ubono conform.
And the Ubonu,
and I miss us and I make I said the Ubono form a home and commodino. I drop considerably into some more muna and a woman. On by election, who say, you see election, now a month for interview head, there was a conversation, but you say, they say, and also, you have someone who has a Kamuja trade. It's just a cost. It should be all hands on deck. Supporters for Obia Saga come on from Mango for new mamma. What to be said? Yesterday now. Okay. In fact, your plans across say your bacon business way more than this one. Okay. So your pa. Then there's a run on catch them, but nice. Nice. Oh, there is Cassam. You do baby own in can create. You do baby. If you had man over you, now Uncle Zapaya say, no, I'm not example, the main credible advertising agency. Once they are credible, you can work for 6 months before you pay. So the good thing is that professionals. Yeah, marketing or my outfit. So okay. So now or premium. No premium. Membrana you could do for I'm so dear. Just for some now. In the Hammond Nitimo, almost rare. Other ways are Munya promotion because now for young Basa Cano, I didn't see as the coach say my matches and now Obina suggest say matches not to our sort of do Sunday, Wednesday. In fact, say no crowd in car. Then how many people but we have distance? No call some up when you be. Bus no spending about 8 hours. Because of the nature of the route. You have to try 4 years, maybe 4 hours. At time from there, no, almost I spend 1 or 2 days. So I call, but I can also take about 5 hours. In the end, dear president. So how can I prepare there? Clearly, women's the boys no and find you cry. A way hand baby cry there. Get me who do for me. But from whichever angle you will be a loose match, and yet a disappointing. The good thing is to create all the decent chances in the game. But scoring just like any other club. We are scoring almost. I think. Oh, nowadays what's that argument we have? Players will continue to come and go. And they just put that issue. So because a goal in man was a striker in you. We say have strikers. Okay. Don't so me and go to my maybe your time. Come was in don't so was only now. But yeah, review of team situation. When you say hi, say the next window no say be here say. Hey, be 1 or 2 bet me. Oh no, the do baby atama. We share the injury list about 12 players on the injury list. I got the papa. You say be no there a short term. But I say more of them no a better chance on what me aba. And on the can say who some players to be over there another one. Okay. Looking at the circumstances. Obviously, I think we need to extend, seek an external medical help for our injured players. Where is the physical trainer? Do you have video and I know all of that? Now, Doctor Fonio. No, any medical team is here regularly. Now, the woman can say, you only other colleagues. Our knowledge in that field, equanimity.
the medical training or say for official purpose.
Physical trainer judgment.
Physical trainer ya announce physical trainer. The publish will be as official first physical trainer.
But it is a team in physical trainer.
Me say yenye public announcement bi.
Right, uncle us to them. But question I question you do so. Me say yen can some announcement. But
there's a physical trainer.
Kotoko Obi.
There's a physical trainer.
Oh, him to say oh. The friend say.
Oh. Then say na wonu say I power na take it through.
Power na physical trainer. Power na judgment say nja kan na yo no.
O judgment be. Obi dey ever do that. That one is we have somebody who train you.
Okay. And your power
that will have to be established.
Okay. Matthew. And the physical trainer Bianco. Now, Obi say Musa Abrante is Cano. Nancy Abedu.
Abrante.
The modern man Libya for them.
A team's name and comedy. I know, say. I know I'm the chairman and club and constant communication. Said team Biano, team other teams. There was our relationship. No, it will be eventually in. But as I speak to you now,
my question was.
As I speak to you now, me to confirm Saba.
Yes,
I might.
But I know say. And
I know you should lawyer for say. I didn't mind me to confirm Musaba. Now, but the answer can confirm. I didn't mind.
Your finance department. You handles animal.
But the my.
And then you beat me for music.
Hey, and go for Fedida.
And a football. Football, so you'll be or some sort of relationship.
You mean Libya for no relationship?
Say, you know, your business all the time. We are all the clubs in I one. Under FIFA.
Okay. This kind of a beba.
Obviously, tell me.
And Chay, no much says a banam pound.
Minister said, Ubia Bridge.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then 27 November, Ubiantum Rebia.
Very soon, more better ones.
Saba.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, Obi.
The agreement is sealed. Obi have performing part of the contractual obligation.
Okay. So yana ball agreement no ne Arab for no yana ntisa hade na moye contract seal na court ne ade we.
Arab for no mo FIFA so.
Timbo FIFA na.
So mo obi aso ni here under one umbrella.
Okay.
And Ghana high until the bias between clubs player bisu team complain the bias. Bo kwa Zika club and the president come to me say oh my fanye.
Okay.
Ese the bias.
Njan kakra bi me ejibo my lawyer ba ko mi no be na wo say ase ade ne ma na be sisi ya. Na
so wa ha. At least after every defeat no. Onje go big games and they ba come to two. Makasa they we are for the past 7-8 years. Na koso. Yeah, headed towards a stage here. Say ya nhwe ye ampa bibi ensi anu a. Ada ebe wura baba ya raspos ebe nso kotoko bo game obi ani ho. Ada Lake Center dey one we abekoko na technical team members into na players in one the park so bobo. Kotoko ne young apostles. To the materials here bo game na kotoko nya 12,600 Ghana cedis. Net. 12,000. Yes, 600 Ghana cedis. That was the memete. And to say ni sika ye bobo mbenya e dey fresh ta for Mobile Stadium dia. Then kwa be no mbeba so mbe team no.
Nkase. Say e omo asede say ombefa kwan ombefa so enye sika ranity.
Tina make say o ti asema make na.
They are responsible.
Say kwan na bi ka ho.
How to increase gate proceeds also moduma.
Of course.
Yes, a lawyer wa ha. Adwuma na eden.
National issue. National
adwuma na ba ababa ye problem a. O single out an individual. Na o criticize individual na. So now you are not being fair. Nti na okay ya. Time mo be ya Ashanti region circles elections no. Now let's say Basti na because unya sansem na okeka no. Na wontimi. Problem no e bro ne so. Enye ma ya Ashanti region chairman am the support the Basti Stadium. And I'm we see me be national chairman. Me make sure say the support. Enye abro mo so. E bi ade ne nam no nye Ashanti region national circle so he support the chairman adwuma.
No more money same you.
Okay.
No more money same. So what that supporters are no wontimi organize omo stadium. Then what are they doing?
Say abro mo so.
Not just say it is not their mandate again.
Abro mo so. Baby adu ni there.
But they have a role to play.
Yes, when the top are ready to make changes, then omo yes ade na ade ne be attractive. Ma mo so na mo wo fom no. Mo so mo kon na mo koton a amanfo som. Na mo to maba, no maba beta mochi. Enti lawyer ba Sunday nka kotoko ne me de ma anya hwe kura no. Anka on a normal day, born your time baby. 3:30. My me had it.
But see that 3:30.
See that 3:30 ni so no. Problems so.
The women go advertise will be
be.
The
go advertise will be.
So
e be too full. You be see for one. E be too full. Okay say you to competition there. Hwe. So we you bibia, e say wo dwene sa anyoma no. Arsenal ne Chelsea ne 4:30. And I was to match so 3:30.
Arsenal no so you know na so.
Two teams on. More supporters, but lawyer.
But the can say, and two local team non to baby.
Yeah.
They say
all things no.
Baby, I have to baby, I have to no. Some over to four, say 6,000, 8,000 Ghana. And I'm with the big numbers of floodlights no. I'm to the mobile Lucina Riano, Mubenian and Numra.
The number 4:30 now.
No, you come back.
No, maybe 6:30 is 7.
Now go to match near 7
and 8 to cry.
Go 40.
No people will come. You to one thing say and you may matches no. Lawyer ni and you may matches ni ye kasa nye no. And you matches no mobile change the bon area. Adios you see for say 8,000 6,000.
About 10,000.
E do any pa will lose when no bon area na be bon anwumre. Na say any pa ne beba. So to why not? So what let me say. Sometimes every hour you might blame management, but you enyom boy go any same to
national crisis.
Resources now only limited.
Management.
Yeah, the person we change say, the me makase we to kodogo no until say how yes it's a management ejuma but issue na say
can dey women this present day Ghana.
But management cannot throw their hands in.
And just we are doing here and I'm saying say
we are not just say you have accepted that it is your responsibility now.
Omo can won be pa
I think even time there should be people there to see the affairs of the club.
But it's not automatic.
Supporters are major stakeholders.
It's not automatic. Lawyer, say I'm a supporter, agreed. Obi Owa, he's paying the 5 census, but on the stadium order. Such people, you want to get them to the stadium. Or did to me a supporter and to the Bosumi be able to 50-100.
So the numbers
but never be mammy quine and mammy mass stadium.
So the numbers
it is up to you to convince such a person to make it an agenda. So they need to be an background and management.
And I'm saying say the numbers now you want as in the Kotoko family. Any number can in here stadium. And it's very difficult.
Not very difficult.
Let me say, I take it that national dam. National crisis. Say, you know, because ball share. I do level be a. Is say, man, you know, yes, your fun is a serious issue. The address.
You're addressing. It's just say you admit that there's a solution. See, I near quadrant. Who dare to say there's a way out?
Of course.
And lawyer,
I goes beyond the
Mukokota a case number to a 1 versus 19. Why is it that elsewhere people are watching the game and they are not watching Ediano? That is the gap. That is what also I'm finding out.
And I'm saying that you can't compare the economies of the.
And then you should also have for one aspect. Economy is just one.
A major determining.
Your woman was called Stadium.
A major determining factor.
It's whether it's major or the best among them. I'm saying that economy is just one. What for your woman was but there are people who are paying for cents or hundreds, but 20 is on
and if a major issue is resolved in an impact to other
factors
any economy okura unya nya research be at no this can no money
no so say it wey
when they see this be a crab tobacco board in channel
tama
they are unum beer omunum near my 2 years come guess they don't come a satisfaction they derive from coming and I'm saying no see why they are not coming near so
satisfaction no and say e bi ni say as o man no e be invest in our football
like you know my more when you blast and
for example my country was an year cause I'm boy it took me 4 hours maybe I had to go to a shop mechanic and I've spent about 3,000 ni person na se kwan ya I could have used
the yanka kumase
me di na so say ni na
yanka kumase
and all those places ni ka ho bi
we don't want visa my boy me kumase no me ye ka mo that's over musa yana
no does it
is it there about plan for finding out here contract extensions and no
ni na ska ya kan ya bia na yakan
general na but general lawyer can say cause here preparation to get some players
well mo inside
what about more the news of we the contract renew
okay lawyer no so want them to say
no me say you start engagement with those players involved at least one more dey free 1 year ever family there I person imagine no there you know mo kasa but the woman say that players thing we are on this wedding so betu kwan akọ elsewhere because when we so benya sika kese e dey about establish no who zaman for ko on so be kubi eno no o stop ye I don't think there's a single player oh you Ghana had more because you say unya kwantu ontu no matter the destination and that factors no should be established it dey say some kompa the contract will have to be renewed so the contract will also get something ya mo say yes we are investing in you it dey munya bibi na contract so be bibi no so do say proposals enko tables na omon consider see bit me reach agreement ya so that at any given time you ask for say the contract ne ba na ebeye your best interest ni kotoko nyina yes to put so emanenko in fact at times you no before say I never buy any player no club no kra I didn't come out do chiri how can bia player no tiase
o kwa tariba
omo e dia mo say e buy be mo ko ni mo no they should renew your contract na kotoko so omo ko mo kon say in the name of kotoko nso nya bibi
kan say buy be mo ko
no Sometymer we say a difficult to prevent players so man into kwai in the worst case obeso okay mate no renew contract and here the contract no running out I work a free agent and you lose to be severally examples no
what has happened to some of them mobile money virtual seat in bida
it's still there
santo ngobo de tueska
once a while be no mo ye no kakra no look for special
okay
say that number no kwa to ga kotoko momo number no
okay
but in fact
it's a mum your boss lay them passes on it
me kwa
mum van enye asem wa mu sisu dua aka so this asem no this o ka da na o candidate to angofo aso
so kalmai dubia
so
we say go this and then buy zibo conference na oh yeah as an analysis pa anybody here
do you know why
so the yes I'm not going
to go enough information about us
no me be na go to go nya
oh enye say o be fresh abudu
sabi
and then me better na dey na
na is it not also say
one maybe
the station so say
at least station Zakito na call here e better no asana so biango
na say obi report am obi
now obi report you cannot analyze what you have not seen
but say
what's a ball no what TV so ne bi ne kan what TV so obi ehwe bia obetimi aka nwasem
na ama
supporters
enti mo manimra
ene ya yen
yes
yen complain say kotoko match do ba na cameras alandi yebeko awe bi a remote area si match na malai na no ye
my sam no dozo
em say me ka to sa de no do ye match ye bon sa match ama ayi de so vision ama eno so de so ama uko yesi ese nipa no attack
hey o ka say they defend a political party we kotokoje political party
lawyer so me dey say kotoko na after me dey contract extension na say be fa so ya asem fofo
of
course say do baby any absolute control over them
but you should have the larger part of that control, because when you sign a contract, lawyer will play any affair say be bobo my and to say make a team aba or I'm the team aba.
I'm not saying say
I'm saying some the bar I'm not
saying so the team may catch will say if contract may play because of the qua there's little Kotoko can do. In the worst case, Kotoko will stamp on authority. In the worst case, no, Kotoko will stamp on authority say, okay, me my uncle. So then play because any time I go the not there, sir.
Lama, just I'm proud of you. We are not yet to us.
And then, about hospital time now, Kotoko. 5 minutes.
And German say Edu sponsor Kotoko.
You tied the table with the message in a tree.
And Edu sponsor Kotoko.
Yeah, woman fight.
Doctor do it.
So about 2-3 weeks ago, the board members Koshia. Na Koshia na assembly nyane say ekwan a ye be fa so a ye be meet a demands. So to be honest, your supply no entimi meet a demands no. The demands for SM bitters, the demands for diabetes mixture, the demands for malaki no yentimi meet. The reason being that most of the work are manual. And so the good thing is that from next 2026 econo you move to automated. Most of your Jumano will be done by machines. And we are hoping that Ajuma 1 week no. So
EDEC SMSS Edu.
Yes. They do supply 1 week, you mine 1 day.
Good.
That is idea company for Emma Yatias here. You can't say you know say for placing demand for SMBTS in particular. Baby it means supplying to them. But then kakra about 2026 no. They will see massive improvement at Oyerepa Hospital, Mizutu, Mankasim Befikrum, and a local official account at the Ebeba. SMBTS no, Eguso Airborne Juma. Zutu, a Juma SAD, Sefa, Sisi, any Atinkamun some dear. If I say you to say no, what was one SMBTS in Kano? Na Ebia, Uti Oyerepa. Nasa Fena Ubiti Oyerepa. Mr. As we can, and a Nibruso. We are passionate about it because the Tojumano, I don't know about Juma. Now, no, many are baby frame. Anna, oh, some wants them say, Nikuno, and I'm catching and say, Titi. Well, why no? Uncle to SMBTS Nibi. Or number, whom you knew, on frame and on feedback. Now say, let them best not go on. On my feedback, and penny for everything. So, to say first stroke, they can't preoccupy, we are the specialist. Oyerepa Hospital, a specialist. Mankasim Befikrum, and now a doc of each other, Accra, a specialist. Doctor tell him no kind of stroke sa anything. When him say question party, two be musa question. Say Ghana ha, say obi chen wa, no ba kono so hopa.